Hello, just a brief blog. Um, I made a AI cover version of me singing. When I say me, it's my synthesized voice singing the opening introduction song of Ace Ventura, "Power of Suggestion." And about 1 year ago, this uh, my 2002 Malibu is, in my opinion, like really similar to Ace Ventura's car. That was You know what? I don't remember at the moment what it was. I think it was I don't know what his car was in it. It's that blue one. And anyways, mine I was driving it around, trying to get the inspection light off because it had to go through run some systems checks. Uh, you know, I had to like do all these like uh accelerate toward 60 miles per hour after idling for 15 minutes. There's all these like strange sequence of events in the user manual to try to run the automatic systems check to get the engine light off. Uh, and Long story short, the car, I just sort of gave up after a while and didn't drive the car for a long time. I booted up the car after about a year, and very unfortunately, like rain had seeped in through some point, like maybe the window, and there was a puddle of water that I had to use a vacuum cleaner, a wet and dry vacuum cleaner, like an auto shop one, to remove the water from it. And what's so funny is when I was driving it for the last time before the tow truck was going to pick it up the next day, I went and just, I had made some of my own real songs with my real voice or something like that, not a synthesized song, and the car started breaking down, like all systems go as it I started the trip, and then when I was like miles away on the highway, one thing after another started shutting down, and it was like it went from all systems go to all systems down as I'm on the freeway, and like there's somebody hitchhiking on the side of the freeway, so I can't pull over. So I just try to do a big U-turn and go all the way home. And it was just like in the movie Ace Ventura, uh, because I think one of the last things to turn off was in the electrical system was my headlight, and I couldn't see out of my windshield. This is all on video too. I had set it up. I had set up the camera in the perfect position on a selfie stick in the center console between the seats. It's a perfect position for a driving camera, and that can be seen here. There's two versions or whatever, and so it's really funny to me. I was like hanging out the window like Ace Ventura, and so I made the song today called "The Power of Suggestion." Oh no. Uh, well, I made this today too. It's a diagram of, it was about the exact same point in December of not just last month, but 13 months ago that I had my first crown right here, and I made this diagram today. But yeah, it's sort of like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. When the crown was setting in, uh, without thinking, I was still flossing, but there was pain, and without unconsciously thinking, I was skipping over my tooth, and so I just didn't floss it, and I didn't know about it until now, all these months later, 13 months later. It's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. And now the only points when I close my jaw that it closes on are these two teeth right here. There's no pain on this one. This one is like a beast of a tooth on the bottom, but on the top there's a lot of pain and pressure because it's the old. I would need a, like what happened with Snoop Dogg in the news about the grill. I would need a classic rapper's grill, like from a jeweler. But I don't think it's going to do much of a difference if I do that. But uh, to make a long story short, I don't know. Uh, flossing is very important. I'm so frustrated because it's so difficult for me to navigate through my videos on YouTube. I mean, just leaving the app for a minute, now I got to scroll all the way through this stuff. Get back there. May, April, March, February. Uh, I I really got to make a review of my own videos, but yeah, for example, the one I have open now, I I'm listening to this song recently. I don't know if I made a version of it that I can link, but Led Zeppelin songs. Apparently, Robert Plant really does sing like a girl, and it's really funny. I guess I could link that um, because when using I wanted to know what's the most used voices. Yeah, that's how my actual teeth are looking now from an upside down view from below. That's on this diagram on the left side, upper, those are the back teeth, and the second one looks like it has cavities, and I never know because uh, it's so I would never. It's so difficult to see under the top row of my teeth. So anyway, too much information, but um, I made 3 a.m. Matchbox 20 because that's the title of one of my videos. I had so many uh, of these. I mean, if I was to drop an album, I think apparently Tuesday is when albums used to drop. I had so many, I had hundreds of songs, if not thousands, but probably hundreds. But uh, I never listen to new music unless it's on the car radio, for example, and that's really the only place that I've ever known music from is the radio. So I know, probably 5,000 songs. I'm not going to say by heart or by ear, but like I know about 5,000 songs that I listen to, and I don't know if it's a mistake that I just expect everybody else to know these songs. Uh, Collective Soul December I made last night. In the song he says, in the song, what does he say? He says something like, yeah, it's a perfect song for January because the song is from December. But you know what? I could press the play button and my notifications. I don't know what to say. This Facebook group here I joined at the top here is called Noahide Nations for All Mankind, and that was in 2016. I don't have a whole lot to say about it. There's 10 commandments in the Bible, 10 things that God holds everybody accountable for. 10 things, like the movie 10 Things I Hate About You or whatever. I'm just joking, but the Noahide Nations is a little bit simpler version of it, and it's 7, right? 7-Eleven, 7 something, 7. I'm thinking of from There's Something About Mary, the quote from Harlan Williams. Eating lots of sunflowers on my uncle's ranch. You know the song. It's like, no, nobody knows that song. But or the 7-minute abs. They got the 8-minute abs. They got the 7-minute abs. And I was cracking up. I was howling, laughing yesterday, watching Old Greg, the British comedy sketch. I'm Old Greg, and I don't know what to say about it other than the way that Old Greg is dressed. He's dressed as Marvin the Martian from Looney Tunes. And then I'm looking at Marvin Martian holding a basketball, and I realize that the basketball is Mars. Like, I never realized that. I don't know how I never realized that a basketball is Mars. Like, how did I not know that? But that was in that music video for Superorganism, Welcome to Costco song. I think it's called Everybody Wants to Be Famous, but what else? I was thinking about Looney Tunes. Here's how it is to make artificial intelligence music. It's like
I have to be able to put it into words what the song is going to sound like. But the how difficult it is like if I was to try to put a say, what does a Martian sound like? What does a a rabbit sound like? Like if a rabbit had a voice, or if what all the Looney Tunes characters, right? It's like if a cat could talk, what would it sound like? If a rabbit could talk, what would it sound like? And most people would just be like, what's up, Doc?" That's not what a rabbit sounds like, really. So, but it's funny, to try to describe music is so difficult. I don't know why, but it's funny. Uh, where's the song at? Is it playing? I don't hear it. That's all right. So, I was watching an old interview with Kanye West from the early 2000s where he talks about growing up and how he got into music. And he had one of the 1980s computers. They had Apple computers, different type, International Blanken Business Machine computers, IBM. And then they had the Amiga. The Amiga had some of the initial music synthesis software and stuff. And he talks about making the song. He produced a song for Jay-Z. I don't know, but I was looking at my Facebook for when I drafted a bunch of invitations for my birthday party this year based on Led Zeppelin's Sgt. Pepper album from the Beatles, and one of the words that was spelled out was Jigga. And so that's what I did with this song. But that's the title of the song. And did I really call this the Short Bus song? No, I called it the Bus Short song. That's different. That's from Doofy and the end of Scary Movie when they make fun of the Kaiser Soze character from the movie The Usual Suspects. When they parody that movie, that's not a scary movie, The Usual Suspects. That's like a action movie. But that final scene is so iconic. The coffee cup breaks and he starts limping away. But as he's limping, he starts walking faster. Anyways, when the Doofy character from Scary Movie, so funny. It's just so funny. So I made that song. Pretty fly for a white guy after all this time. Tony Montana quotes from Scarface. So I tried to have Ronald Reagan's real likeness and Taylor Swift's real likeness speak in, is it short form of the one of my favorite books, 48 Laws. I did the theme song from, you know what I'm talking about, that show with the Duke Boys. Never meaning no harm, blah, blah, blah. And okay, so so I tried to check out what are the most used models on the site, and this is Goku. I know is it's not Pokemon, but it's one of those things, Dragon Ball Z, that I'm familiar with. Not even though I've never seen it. I did Mr. Roboto song, Domo Arigato, Mr. Roboto, and Darth Vader's likeness, I call it Principal Ding Bell, Principal Belding from Saved by the Bell, and that's former President Obama's likeness. Some ludicrous songs. Southern Hospitality. The vlog I'm making now was supposed to be about video games and how I can just sit here and design a video game just talking about it. And there was a turning point for me maybe 3 years ago when I was playing Grand Theft Auto 4 online, and my character was just sitting there, and it was Grand Theft Auto 5 online, and outside of my character's apartment, and then like a really attractive woman rolls up on a motorcycle, and it's just like, get on the motorcycle. And I got on the motorcycle, and it was like a turning point for me in my video gaming career, if that's what you want to call it, because I never felt emotionally attached to video game characters until this point, like 3 years ago. I have it on video even of when it happened, and at that point I made my first female character in GTA 5, and they're kind of notoriously unattractive in the face, and it's kind of funny because when the female character had rolled up on my male character, she was wearing a helmet, so I didn't know how ugly she was. Anyways, what Ludacris says in Southern Hospitality, that he's in it for the paper, in the game for the paper, for the money, and it's not about the women, and it's for the love of the game. So I can sit here and take a basic game like Risk, the board game, Monopoly, the board game, up to video games, and say, how could this game be better and more fun? How do we add more, 10 times more or 5 times less of stuff to make it better? People call the new Battlefields too much. They're just too much. And it's so simple-minded, but maybe I have like a dual sense. That's the PlayStation 4 controllers. What it is a dual sense controller, whatever the hell that means. I don't know. But so I have the love of the game, and now I have a love of the characters of the game. I was reading about Hippolytus, one of the Greek legends, and he's the son of Poseidon, and he had a big drama that happened. It's so interesting to me to see how the drama unfolds in the Greek families of the Greek legends, how when one does something, it like affects the whole family on the other side in these other like intertwined ways. It's so wild. But apparently, in my opinion, Kratos, God of War, is the hypothetical brother of Hippocleitus, if that's his name. I don't remember, but he's the son of Poseidon, and he has a crush on, is it Athena? Is it Aphrodite? Is it Ares? I can't remember. I can't remember them all. I can't say much about him, but yeah, I got Not Afraid, Eminem, Fed Up, House of Pain, but I found a third song to go with it, and I can't remember what it is at the moment. One of the same quotes, the same, they just have one little line of lyrics that connect those two songs, but I found a third one. I don't remember at what point. It's from the 1990s, but the same quote, lying through your teeth. It might be Southern Hospitality, and it is. And in the music video, Ludacris is wearing a grill. A nice looking grill, should I say. It's only on his back teeth. He's got his regular teeth here, and then the grill's on both sides of the back. So many music videos. I'm starting to notice grills in the music videos. These all sound good, but what's rumor spreading round. Here it goes.
Rumor spreading round.
And
The light takes the town. But the sound outside again.
about that shit.
You know what I'm talking about.
Just let me go.
Green Sally on, a green Sally down.
That's my cat's name. Sally? I'm very familiar with this song from the radio. I didn't know it was named Tyler. It's the Toadies Tyler song from the 90s. So here's the difference between my two synthesized voices. Let me see.
Green Sally on,
Does you see how that sounds like a blues song?
green Sally down.
But then this sounds like a blues song too.
Let's go start down and dance.
Both of those are my voice. So instead of singing Bling Bling, I got this.
The Versace Medusa head on me like I'm a magnetic fleet. I know that you like
Versace, my neck and my wrist is so sloppy.
it. Versace, my neck and my wrist is so sloppy. Versace, I love
Ah, that's so awesome. Oh no. So I make a lot of these that I've never listened to. Romance. Okay, so I got Marvin Gaye with What's Going On. What's going on? For some reason it's not playing. Oh, here I do have Superorganism. Nice. Now all of a sudden they're not working. I have the volume up. Sometimes they just don't load. But I have them all here. I can link them all. Kylie Minogue. Borat 2020 quotes. So I search, what are the funniest Borat quotes on YouTube. I don't even watch the video. I just take the video, convert it to my voice. So this is if I was doing a Borat voice.
Hello? What is? This is Brian. Oh, I talked to him. Where's my client? Hello? Goes to...
I'm just making a video blog. But I don't think your voice will pick up now because I have the sound on, but I haven't listened to it. Anyway, this is the one I last linked from 9 days ago on Facebook, so. These are the alternates, Doesn't sound familiar. Just sounds bizarre.
No smell. 98. You have a lottery.
Yeah, that's it. The Wallflowers. And Ice Cube's Weeby Clubbin' song from 1990's The Players Club movie soundtrack. In the music video, in the opening scene, it's supposed to be based on the Apple commercial from the Super Bowl in the 1980s. Yeah, the $1 million commercial, and he's like, the Wallflowers. And One Headlight is the song I'd included around the time in GTA 4 when let's say female character picked up my male character, and it's just, this happened, in 2020. Yeah, this happened in 2020. But it just changed my whole perspective on video games. And, they actually have a dirty Harry Potter video game, and it's called Innocent Witches. And it's like the player is Slytherin Snake, the headmaster at a British Harry Potter school. And it's so funny because he's like Principal Belding or Mel Brooks' character in Blazing Saddles when he's a businessman with that toy that has that ball on, that bouncing ball, and they give it to him. It's like dunk dunk, and so Principal Belding is kind of like, if I was Principal Belding, I'd be like sitting there with the bell to ding, and it's like somebody comes into my office, and I'd be like, Principal Belding, ding bell. Principal Belding, ding bell. And that's all. Get out of my office. Push him out of the office. It's just so funny. It's like ridiculously stupid. But yeah, I never would have found that Harry Potter simulator called Innocent Witches. But what, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak, before they made the Apple I and Apple II in the late 70s, they made Atari's Breakout. They co-spired with, what's the word? The founder of Apple was 40 years old working for Atari, and then there was two other guys who were about 20 years old, and those are the Steves. But the elder founder, he's still alive, he's about 90 now, wanted to make just a computer to make simple slot machine type games, or like a simulated, like you could play fake fun poker with fake money with your friends or with yourself, play solitaire. Just the initial. He wanted to make like a solitaire-like game, with the Apple computer, and that's what it was initial purpose was. And I have kind of a similar idea now, maybe taking the instead of like a chessboard, it's the context of a roulette board, and there's 3 slots of rows. There's 35 numbers, and there's 32 NFL teams, for your information. So I'll have AI write me a program for that, where I can point and click on one of the numbers, and it'll be organized from the founding, from the first Green Bay Packers all the way up to the most recent. I'm not sure what it is. I think Las Vegas, actually. It's the Las Vegas Raiders is the most recent team, Raging at the name of. The Raiders? Oh, interesting. So the Ravens won last night, and I got a notification in the news that the coach's opening statement after winning was a Bible verse, and I don't know what verse it was, but I'm like a bird. What's her name? Local artist, Gun, huge, right? Nelly Furtado, Incubus Drive, Regulators. So some of these, I try to do the radio version, and if there's, sometimes they're the very explicit versions, and I don't like to hear it, even my computer voice.
You're beautiful.
There we go.
That's for sure.
That's,
You'll never, ever fade.
here's Tweety Bird Rope's song. So, 50 Cent songs here are perfect. There's no clean versions of 50 Cent's original mixtape.
This the miserable kiss and I'm strapped with a Mati. OBG from the CO1 PT, so ill. It's a must that I talk on them. So we got one of BGs from the CPTs, like the T10.
Tim Dog, song about Compton, I got somewhere. Oh, this one sounds really good, I think.
Yeah. You know what?
If I'm talking to the synthesis machine, the AI, artificial intelligence, I'd say, I like the way you work here. No dignity.
I like the plant. No doubt. Play on, play it. Play on, play it. Trade drop the verse. Oh, it's going down. Jason Black, Sweet the homies, not at me. Collab creations for Black Academy.
No doubt. It's going down, never slouching. Soldier Swag On song is 100%. Just an ordinary person. But I'm soft.
So the boy, so I don't. I was fucked by the bombs of pass out. Oh, my man, I must go high.
Man, that's enough. So as soon as I click this, it's going to go from 11 months ago all the way to the beginning. And now I got to go all the way back. But, this, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what all this stuff, there's so much stuff. I got to make a playlist. Here is like what I'm saying about video games. How, I'm designing them and stuff. Here's playing them. Well, that's not what that video was, but where's the design part? Here's the design part, I think. It's such a tediously slow process, but I can walk regular people through it. This is what I'd wanted to do. I introduced my longtime friend Amanda to this game finally, the regular StarCraft game. And it's so funny because playing a regular StarCraft game, what will happen is it saves a replay of the game, and it's so funny. I had to save both of us and our team against the computer, and anyway, so yeah, I think now I'd be able to, I don't know. Here's the basic Risk board game. And if it's like Pimp My Ride, right? From MTV with Exhibit. I got to do that song next, and just the other songs I've thought about making this blog. But Pimp My Ride, the song about tricking out cars at an auto shop. That's how it is with video games. I'll pimp your video game. But people don't have that kind of mindset. They say, that's not my game, that's someone else's game. Well, that's your game if you're playing it, but if I use this in my news feed, a new voice changing company just came up. I can have anyone talking with me while we walk you through this. I'll walk you through making video games, playing video games. Who doesn't know how to play video games? But with different voices, okay? So I could be former President Reagan, and the person I'm talking to on the phone could be former President Nixon. And it'd be like, what if in the year 24 that we're in, what if former President Reagan and former President Nixon were having a conversation about video games? What would it sound like? And it would sound like this. And it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. But, that's just conceptual stuff. I can't believe I talked here for 30 minutes. That's all.